Sparks floated into the air, and the crackling of the fire followed after Tyson tossed another log into the flames. He clapped his hands together, wiping the soot and dust off, then sat back down on the thick log beside Janna. 4 of the logs circled our pitted campfire, forming a rough, cozy ring. This little clearing, just a few feet from the cabin we'd rented for the weekend, was perfect. Our last getaway before school ended for the summer, a celebration after a year of hard work. None of us expected it to be our final weekend together. Tyson and Janna curled up on the log, gazing into the fire's glow. Tyson, tall and athletic, with wavy blonde hair just below his ears, looked every bit the all-star. Janna, by contrast, was short and soft around the edges, with long, straight brown hair that nearly touched her waist. The kind of hair that probably couldn't curl even if you begged it to. They made a picture-perfect couple. 2 of my best friends in the world, bathed in firelight, their smiles almost glowing. I couldn't compare. The runt of the group, barely taller than Janna, with dark hair I always had to slick back. At least I didn't wear wire-rimmed glasses anymore. Finally got contacts this year. Small victories. Tyson straightened up and grinned. All right, Freddy, you gonna tell us a scary story or what? I was about to reply when a high-pitched screech tore through the trees, followed by a blood-curdling scream. Janna bolted upright, grabbing a fistful of Tyson's shirt. What was that? She cried, eyes wide with terror. We all stood up at the same time. Instinct. Fear. Maybe we should go back to the cabin, I stammered, trying to sound rational. Tyson grabbed the heavy, bat-sized stick he'd leaned against the log earlier. His brows knitted together. No, we should check it out. Janna gasped and clung tighter to his shirt, practically yelling, Are you crazy? We go back, like Freddy said. You and Freddy go. I'll look around, make sure nothing's wrong, he said, his voice calm, trying to reassure her. That's a horrible plan, I said, but it was already too late. Tyson turned and jogged toward the tree line, disappearing into the shadows beyond the firelight. Janna gripped my arm and dragged me along. I stumbled, but we hurried together toward the cabin. The cabin sat in darkness, the flickering fire casting long, twisted shadows across the clearing. Small and rustic, it was one of several scattered around the forest, cheap weekend escapes from the real world. The kind of place that felt cozy in the daytime, but at night, all charm vanished. We reached the door and shoved it open, slamming it shut behind us. The room was dark, darker than I remembered, and I squinted into the black. The cabin had no electricity, part of the all-natural experience. What a joke. On the left, 2 sets of bunk beds lined the wall. A stone fireplace dominated the far side, with a worn-out couch facing it. Behind that sat a rough kitchen table, and to the right, a full-sized bed with a wooden trunk at its foot. I spotted the flashlight on the table, snatched it up, and flicked it on. A cone of light spilled out into the room. Janna was at the window, peering out. Her voice trembled. I don't see him, Freddy. Where did he go? I moved beside her and looked. Just smoke and shadows from the campfire. He'll be back, I said, trying to sound confident for her sake. I turned toward the fireplace. We'd loaded it with kindling earlier. I called over. Janna, hand me your lighter. She passed me the tiny blue Bic. I flicked it and lit the fire. Flames slowly crawled up the logs, breathing life into the room. That scream, it didn't sound human. I thought it had come from a woman, but that screech before it, I couldn't place it. Maybe it was a cougar, Janna suggested, like she could read my mind. What if that's what the noise was, and Tyson ran right into it? In the woods, sounds travel far, I offered, though my voice betrayed my uncertainty. If it was a cougar, it's probably long gone. Janna started pacing in front of the door, wringing her hands. The fire grew, casting a warm glow across the room. I went around lighting candles perched on windowsills and shelves. Why the hell did he run off like that? Suddenly, a thunderous bang shook the cabin door. Tyson, Janna cried out. Silence. Then another deafening bang. Janna, get away from the door, I shouted. She stumbled back, tripping over a chair and landing hard on the floor. Her face was twisted with fear. The door shuddered under the force of whatever was outside, each slam louder than the last. Something was trying to get in. And then silence. Only Janna's shallow breathing and the crackling fire remained. I crept to the window and peeked outside. "What is it?" Janna whispered. "And nothing," I muttered. The fire outside had died to embers. Smoke curled upward, glowing orange in the moonlight, but no figures, no movement, just emptiness. We stayed close together after that. Hours passed. The cabin seemed to shrink, walls closing in as the silence deepened. Every creak of wood, every rustle in the trees outside made our hearts race. We didn't sleep, we didn't speak, we just waited. Waited for Tyson. But he never came back. And neither did the banging. When the sun finally rose, we stepped out into the cold morning. Pale light bathed the clearing. We searched, called out, circled the cabin, followed the trail back to the fire pit. There was no sign of Tyson, just the dying embers. Thanks for listening, and if that story gave you chills, you're not alone. If you enjoyed our last weekend, don't forget to like the video. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you want more original short horror stories delivered straight into your darkest dreams. And hey, share this with a friend if you think they're brave enough. Drop a comment below. What do you think happened to Tyson? Until next time, keep your fire burning and your doors locked.